Glad to see the river. Well, you're gonna get lost. Hey, where are you going? Hey.
He's going that way.
Uh-oh. You okay? What happened? You wanna go for a little walk? Ready, set, up. There you go. You gonna get your little horse?
What?
Grab him.
What?
Okay, I'll grab him. There you go. You wanna come this way, Wally? Let's have a look at what Poppy did. My beautiful dad has brought the slasher on the back of the tractor down here and slashed these channels or these rows, and it just means that I can put the pig fence through the bush and it won't draw all my fencing down. So that is a heaven sent, if you can see through there. So I'm able to put the fence all the way through the bush because he's put these rows through. So Morning, Raymond. Morning. What are you doing? Hey, buddy. What's doing? You're a good boy. If only you would stay in the paddock. The electric fence, as I mentioned, keeps blowing down, so every time it blows down, Ray just thinks, oh, somebody opened the door, and jumps over the net. His jacket, that is?
It's Harry's jacket.
It was Harry's jacket.
It was Harry's jacket.
Yeah, it's very cute. I love it. Is it comfy?
Yeah.
Does it feel warm?
You see those ones
Ray. Is he your best friend? Is he your buddy?
Why
Is he your buddy?
want to go over with those dogs?
Yeah. What happened to your butt? Ew. Did you sit down on the step?
Yeah,
You
they
bullhead.
went to do.
Maggie here is due today. Excuse the butt. Not a great deal of progress on the actual arrival though. Her udder is, I think, as full as it's going to get. It's pretty full. She's, even when she walks, she sort of waddles because her udder's so full. That's a commercial dairy cow in her, I guess. But not where I thought she would be today. I thought she would be a lot further along, and she's not. So that's okay. We'll just wait until she's ready. Come and see the calf! Oh my god! Oh my god! Good job! Good job!
Getting cold, like we're getting cold.
They're getting cold, okay. We just came out this morning to check on Maggie. And I knew this would happen. She had it without me. I reckon she had it like, I don't know, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning or something. It looks pretty clean.
I need some.
You want some shoes?
Yeah.
She's being pretty
Mama,
protective,
I
so
want
we're not going to get
some.
any closer.
I'm gonna get some shoes.
Okay. We're not going to get any closer with the kids anyway. I'll get a bit closer later just to make sure it's feeding.
Run.
It's pretty big. It's a pretty big calf. Good job, Maggie. Hi there. Good girl, Maggie. Oh, it's exhausting. It's all a bit exhausting. Kevin's doing well. I just put him online to sell. I put him in the pet section online. So hopefully somebody will pick him up and give him a good home. This week has been massive. We started milking the second day just because Maggie was so big and engorged, so I just wanted to relieve her. So the next morning I started milking her, and that's gone to the pigs. The first 3 days it was mostly colostrum, so we didn't want to store that and drink it ourselves, so we've given it to the pigs. They love it. The start of the week the calf was quite difficult to get to the top of the head bale there. I put him there so that the mum, Maggie, she is calm because she can see the calf, and she lets down her milk a little bit easier if he's in view. So that's become a lot easier. The last 3 mornings he's been there already. When I've got up at 5 to milk, he's already been sleeping at the head of the head stall, so that's been easy. I just tie him to the post. And milking, I was quite surprised. I was proud of myself because I managed to just start. I had my head around it, but I'd never actually milked before, so picked up on that pretty quick, which has been good. That was a bit of an unknown. First 3 days she was giving 10 litres each milk, so 10 litres in the morning, 10 litres at night. Now she has settled down a lot, so she's just giving enough milk for the calf, and I get 5 litres in the morning and 5 litres at night. At the moment we are filtering and storing milk twice a week. We'll keep sort of 4 litres twice a week, and the rest goes to the pigs. So the pigs love it. It's making them fat, which is going to bring us beautiful pig meat eventually. So it's definitely not going to waste, and I am enjoying milking her. So the 8 litres a week is not just for teas and coffees and cereal, but it's being separated into cream, which will give me cream and also butter. I'll also make yogurt from that eventually, so we're going to use that in a few different ways. When she was quite engorged at the start of the week, I had to milk from both sides of her, so you can see me squished up against the rail there trying to milk from the other side because her teats were facing all different directions. But it's Friday now and milking's a lot easier. I can do it from the one side, and she stands really still. I'm just giving her chaff, just loosened chaff. So her milk is 100% grass-fed milk, and that way it's just better for us. If we're going to do this, we might as well do it the best way that we can. So yeah, it's all going well. It was quite a big adjustment waking up at 5 in the morning. It was sort of too cold, too dark, not the right light. But now that it's Friday, I feel really good about it. I've adjusted and my hands aren't sore. Surprisingly, I thought my hands would be sore, but they're not. So it was quite different to what I thought it would be. They sort of, the teat there, you can see the back quarter, it sort of sprays wherever it wants, all over me, all over the bucket. But that's even got a little bit better. I guess as I've practiced, it's got a little bit better. So it's sort of like milking a balloon, I guess. You got to like pick it up from the top and pull it down, and then the teat sort of refills and you just keep sort of pulling it down. So that was different to what I thought it was going to be. What else? It's pretty dark in the mornings. It's pretty cold and dark, but I'm looking forward to the spring weather coming soon, and that should be a little bit more enjoyable. The first 3 days of this week, when she had a fair bit of colostrum and milk and her udder was quite engorged, it was taking me an hour to milk her 10 litres out. So an hour in the morning, hour in the night time. Now that I'm only getting 5 litres, it's sort of taking me half an hour, and I hope to get that down to 20 minutes. I'm enjoying milking her, although it is cold and dark. I am enjoying listening to an audiobook or some music while I do it, and having my morning coffee by myself, and maybe watching the news by myself in the mornings. Just when I'm getting up at 5, it's gives me a good start on the day. By the time the kids have to get out of bed, I'm, well and truly woken up and happy. Generally, I'm not a morning person, but this is definitely improving me in the morning. So once I'm finished milking, I just use the hose there to spray off the concrete underneath her, because she goes to the toilet a lot when I milk her. I don't know why she just doesn't do it on the grass, but it seems to be whenever I put her in there, she wants to go to the toilet. So that gets a little bit yucky. So I just wash it off really well. We're going to put a proper drain in so we can wash all the water away properly and it not ruin the grass and get all muddy and yucky. It's really important that I practice good hygiene when I am milking, especially if I'm going to store it, because it's unpasteurized. It means that the bacteria is in the milk, and if I'm not hygienic enough, the bacteria will grow. So I want to bring it down to 4 degrees within the first hour. I disinfect her udder, or just wash her udder down with some clean cloths. I disinfect my buckets and all the equipment that I use. I just use a preserving jar, a glass jar with a clip-on lid, and I use a funnel and a coffee sieve, and I just sieve it through the coffee sieve into the jar and put it straight into the freezer. I then put a timer on and make sure it gets down to 4 degrees within the first hour. And it's looking like I'll only store the milk for 3 to 4 days anyway, because that's how quick we use it. So just making sure I'm really hygienic. So when I'm spraying off the concrete, it's important that I'm getting all the manure and all the whey and all the leftover milk off the concrete slab ready for the next milking. Also, keeping her in that laneway, I need to make sure I stay on top of all the manure, picking that up so that she's not walking through that and walking it into the stall. We are getting some silage for her today, so just some fermented grass. She's also on loosened chaff, like I said, and she's also got plenty of grass pick in the paddock. So that should hold her quite well, and she should recover from having the calf quite quickly. The calf is pretty lazy. He sleeps all day. I rarely see him drink. I know he does drink because he goes to the toilet a lot, but I don't often see him drink. He sort of just sleeps in the corner of the paddock, and Maggie goes off and eats her lunch by herself. Little seedlings starting to pop up. I planted out the greenhouse, probably quarter of the greenhouse, with a few frost hardy greens, and these are the ones that are started inside that will grow, and after the frost, any chance of the frost is gone, I will plant them out. Quiche is by far my favourite night of the week. It's great on a homestead. You can put whatever you want in it, as long as it's got cheese, cream and eggs. You really can put anything in there. I put cauliflower, corn, mushrooms, whatever. And usually I put a little bit of bacon in there too. I like bacon in mine. I like my pastry to be quite thick, and I like to blind bake it in the oven with baking rice, and I take the rice out and then put the filling in and bake it again, so that that nice thick pastry goes all flaky and buttery and delicious. And then yeah, we have it for dinner once a week. My rolling pin that I use was made by my father-in-law, and I absolutely love it. Dom got onto some whey this week, so I went yesterday and picked up a 1,000-litre drum of it, and that can feed the pigs and the cows. It's really nutritious, and it's just a byproduct of making cheese. This is mainly beetroots, radishes, kale, carrots, just a whole different array of colours in there. I'm still needing to weed a little bit and fill the rest of the greenhouse, but that will come with the seedlings that I'm growing inside. And I'm really working hard this year to make this place more comfortable and more enjoyable visually, so that I will enjoy being in it, and it's not just a workspace then, it's a place of enjoyment. So we're going to get some chairs and tables in. We're also working on some bigger vine plants, so we planted some pumpkins and some cucumbers, squash plants, and they all need a fair bit of room and a fair bit of water. So originally I was looking at putting them in containers, and you know, so the main plant is in really good soil, but then as they trellis out, like the pumpkins do, they take up a whole lot of room. They can still have somewhere to ramble, but doesn't necessarily have to have top quality soil. So talking to Dom about it, and he didn't like the container idea. I mean, that's what I did because that's sort of my skill set, but he said, no, let's put in some more permanent raised beds. So he's started excavating the dirt away here, and we're going to put some, there's my container over there, we're going to put some proper sleepers in and put some really good dirt in there, and then that way the pumpkins will have all this hill and a little bit of drain there to grow. They don't necessarily need to be in a fenced area because the animals, the wildlife, tend to leave those alone. So I'm going to do that, and like I said, I'm going to have chair and tables in the corner, and then those trellises will be covered in beans. Hopefully this will be a lot more filled out and pretty. And I also eventually want to move my chickens over here, the barbed Plymouth Rock. I want to move them over because I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to just have my breeding pairs of them. So that will probably look like maybe 10 breeding hens and roosters. And then we're actually going to get rid of the rest of the chickens. We still have a laying flock of the mixed breed layers, but we're going to have meat chicks. So I can get them online, they'll post them. I will have them in a chicken tractor and they will be on open grass, but we'll be able to move the pen because they're only chicks. I still want them to be on grass. I don't want to have to use bedding, and I don't want to have to put them in a enclosure like the shed or something. I want them to be on open grass, and they take 8 to 10 weeks to grow to full maturity. They're a crossbreed. I've mentioned before they're a Cornish cross, so that's crossing a Plymouth Rock over a Indian game fowl, which I have here to breed, and I'm going to play around with that to see if I can hatch my own Cornish cross. But right now, money wise, it's a cheaper option to go with buying the chicks and raising them for that 8-10 week bracket, feeding them a good organic starter pellet or a crumble, and getting our meat birds that way. They're going to be better quality, they're going to be organic, it's a cheaper way to do it. So we're definitely going to look into that, build a bit of a chicken tractor enclosure that can wheel along the ground and grow those chicks and put them in the freezer, probably twice a year. If we do sort of 25-50 birds once a year or twice a year, depending on our setup. And I may look to also do a few extra to be able to sell to cover my feed costs, and hopefully we'll get to the stage where we're raising organic meat birds for nothing and we get it for nothing and we're able to sell a few. Something Dom's very good at is finding secondhand materials. And this is really what makes this place tick, I guess. It means that we can do fencing. There are posts there, there's some pickets, there's more pickets over there, more posts. We can build structures, chicken structures, or you know, that head stanchion for Maggie to milk in. And we can do it for nothing or for a very low cost because he has thought about it and stockpiled materials. Now, this looks like a tip and it does need to be cleaned up a lot, but it means that, you know, it saves us a lot of money. This is going to be the pumpkin bed. There's rails there and posts. That's also going to be a retaining wall. There's plenty of steel if we have to ever make a repair on a roof, or if we have to do any sort of fencing. Dom stockpiled a bunch of different types of mesh if we have to wrap trees in mesh to keep the animals away, or we have to keep animals in with the chicken mesh. It's just all sort of little odds and sods that we can use to make things and get things going. Poppy's arrived with the silage bale. He went and picked that up this morning with his hay bale. So that's amazing. Another second-hand item that Dom picked up this week is chicken plucker. That's going to make plucking 25 to 50 chickens a lot quicker. And what basically happens is this bottom plate here spins and all these rubber fingers pluck the chicken within, 20 seconds. You've got a plucked chicken ready to gut and put in the freezer. Dom picked up some wood this morning from our amazing brother-in-law. So that will create many more projects in the future. Okay.
I'm just going to try and plonk it. Plonk.
Smells juicy.
And he does a really good job too.
How old do you reckon that is?
It's only new. Like
Okay.
it's not
Not
a
fully.
year old yet.
Nice. She's gonna love that.
Oh yeah, smell it.
Smells good. Oh my god! It smells like
You could eat
apple
yourself.
cider vinegar, sort
You
of,
could
doesn't
eat
it?
yourself.
Very impressed with how much cream is in this milk. It's about half, and as you can see there, the yellowing is all the cream, and I'll be able to skim that off the top and make lots of yummy things.